Hey guys, in this video, I'll show you the technique that was taught to Michael Jordan to stay composed during intense situations and not crack under pressure. This is a powerful technique that eliminates fear and anxiety in seconds and converts those feelings into a calm, confident state of mind. You can use this during any intense situation, not just sports. For example, maybe you get nervous speaking in front of a big group of people, or maybe you get nervous when you want to approach somebody you're attracted to. This technique will help. For me personally, I'm naturally an introvert and a bit shy, so applying this to my social life was huge. I remember times when I wanted to go up and approach a particular girl, but the anxiety was paralyzing. It took me years to truly figure out how to conquer fear. And now my company conducts workshops all over the world helping men with social confidence and charisma. We've become experts at helping guys conquer anxiety and explode with confidence fast.
We know what works and what doesn't.
Now, let's get back to Michael Jordan. A lot of people think he was always confident, poised, and put together. But he faced emotional issues just like the rest of us. Here's a story. It was 1994, and Jordan had just returned from baseball to play basketball again with the Chicago Bulls. But there was a problem. His father had recently been murdered, he just failed at professional baseball, and he was coming back to the game where he was no longer at the very top. So during practice, he was letting out his frustration on his teammates. Now, Jordan was always a bit of a trash talker, but now he was getting really hostile towards his teammates. And Phil Jackson, Jordan's coach, saw this and was deeply concerned. The tipping point came when Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face during practice. That's when Phil Jackson called George Mumford, a psychologist who taught the players techniques for controlling the mind and body. It was George Mumford that taught Jordan the art of staying calm under pressure and how to stay in the zone to take that game-winning shot, even amidst a jam-packed stadium, a roaring crowd, and lights flashing from every direction. Now, before we get into the specifics on how to do this, what Mumford taught Jordan was basically how to control his mind, body, and nervous system. You see, most people can't stop the unwanted thoughts that are looping over and over again in their mind. And they just don't know how to control the paralyzing feelings of nervousness and anxiety in their body. It takes a strong mind, but for most people, that part of the brain that controls their nerves is underdeveloped. Note, this has nothing to do with your level of intelligence, your problem-solving skills, or your level of education. This is a completely different part of the brain. Think about it like this. Monks are always in a calm, composed, and compassionate state of mind. Nothing seems to stir their emotions because they're in complete control of their mind and body. Monks have very strong minds because they meditate for hours a day. They've built up their mental faculties, which of course allow them to control their emotions. They don't experience negative mental thought patterns, and they don't experience intense nerves because they're in full control of their bodies. So if you want rock solid confidence, and you want to eliminate all nervousness and anxiety, and you want to have control over your emotions and be able to confidently meet women, then you must develop a strong mind. A mind that has complete control over your mind and body. And here's the good news. You don't have to meditate for hours a day to achieve this. In fact, we've discovered simple techniques that hack your nervous system and give you poised confidence fast. We compiled these into a 10-day course called Balls of Steel. Just follow the simple exercises and we'll help you cultivate mental toughness. There's a link below this video, so definitely check it out because it'll take your confidence game to the next level. The techniques in there are the best of the best that we've learned from sports psychologists, Navy SEALs, Buddhist monks, elite freedivers, and more. Okay, so now I want to give you a technique that you can start using today. It's a very simple technique that will help you get more grounded, stay calm, and feel more relaxed in a matter of seconds. Here it is. First, let's talk about what causes fear. Fear is just a basic survival mechanism occurring in response to a specific stimulus, such as pain or the threat of danger. The control center for fear is located in the brain's amygdala, which warns our body of danger by triggering the fight or flight response. It causes your heart to start beating faster. It causes you to start breathing heavier and prepares your body to either flee the situation or fight, which was a very useful tool for our ancestors who evolved around many dangerous situations. But now, fight or flight situations are pretty rare. Yet your primitive reptilian brain still perceives situations such as approaching a beautiful woman or public speaking or just getting out of your comfort zone as life or death, and can often leave you feeling paralyzed. This can obviously be a huge problem and keep you from achieving what you want in life. So how do you overcome the fight or flight response in your brain and turn off fear at the source? Well, it's a simple technique called presence. Now, stick with me here. You have to understand that your brain is constantly wandering. It's usually in the past or in the future. It's thinking about either past failures and how you can avoid those, or it's conjuring up future possible worst case scenarios and making sure that you avoid those, because your brain is always moving you towards what it perceives as potential pleasure and away from what it perceives as pain or life-threatening situations. So for example, you see that beautiful woman that you want to approach and you start thinking, oh, what are people gonna think? Are these people gonna hear me and judge me? Or what if she has a boyfriend? What if the boyfriend shows up and he's really pissed off? Right? You're creating this fantasy, this story that isn't even true, but it's just to avoid that possible worst case scenario, which really isn't that bad. It's not life-threatening, yet it feels that way. Your brain does this to try to protect you. But when this happens, you're no longer in the present moment. So to calm your nerves and shut off that fear response, you must get present. Because when you're present, you're no longer thinking about those past failures or future potential worst case scenarios. You're just there right in the present moment, responding and reacting to whatever situation there is in front of you. And so you have to take control and get present. So I'm going to give you 4 techniques that you can use really fast, just like that, in any situation that causes fear, nervousness, or anxiety. The first technique is called mindful breathing, or breathing into your balls, as I like to call it, because essentially what you're doing is taking a very deep, conscious breath. Because breathing is something that's controlled by your autonomic nervous system. You're generally not aware or conscious of your breathing. And when you get nervous, you start breathing shallow and start breathing much faster. So when this happens, just take a step, take a moment, and take a deep breath. Do it with me one more time right now. And notice how you feel. Do you feel a little bit more calm? I do. So this brings the awareness out of your head, out of the thinking about the future or the past, and brings it into your body, into the present moment, what's going on right now, which is your breathing. So use this next time you're in a situation that causes some fear, some nervousness, some hesitation, some anxiety, or just some tension in your body. Just take a few deep breaths. You see that beautiful woman, before you approach her, take a deep breath. Or as you're walking towards her, take a deep breath. Because typically when we're nervous, like I said, we're either breathing fast or we're not breathing at all. We actually hold our breath. We tense up, right? So instead, just allow your body to relax. Because remember, your body and your mind are connected, okay? So when your mind is nervous, your body is gonna tense up. So if you wanna make your mind not nervous, relax your body. Take a deep breath, your body will relax, and then your mind will relax as well. So do this before you approach a beautiful woman, or before you have to make a speech on stage, or before you have to put yourself in any kind of a tense situation, like, I don't know, confronting your boss or friend or loved one about some situation, right? Take a deep breath, relax your body, relax your mind, and you're gonna perform much better. The next technique is called feeling your body. So what I mean is, instead of your awareness being in your head, I want you to bring it into your body. Right now, feel what's going on in your body. Just notice the sensations. Are you standing up? Is there some tension in your feet? right? I'm standing right now, so obviously there's some tension in my feet. I've been standing for a little while. There's some tension in my knees, you know? I'm allowing myself just to feel what's going on in my body. Besides just the breathing, now I'm just aware of all the sensations. I'm noticing how my shirt feels on my skin. I'm noticing my heartbeat actually a little bit. So what happens when you do that is the awareness goes out of your head, right? All the energy, when you're nervous, you're over-analyzing. Again, you're thinking about the past or the future. So you want to bring that awareness into your body. What's going on right now inside? And you actually will start calming down when you do that. And especially what I want you to do, when you feel nervousness in your body, pinpoint the nervousness and allow yourself to experience it fully. Because typically what we do in a nervous situation, let's say approaching a beautiful woman, we start feeling, our heart starts beating faster, start maybe breathing a little faster, and you feel like this maybe churning sensation in the pit of your stomach, like that butterfly feeling, and you just don't want to do it. And what do? You try to fight it. You start trying to think your way through it. But that doesn't work. Trying to avoid the pain or the discomfort in your body generally isn't gonna help the situation. So what you want to do is allow yourself to experience it fully. So I would even describe it to myself, okay? And I suggest you do the same. I might see that beautiful woman and say, okay, I'm a little nervous. I feel that the nerves in my body, in my stomach. It's like this churning sensation, that kind of a butterfly feeling, and I just allow myself to just really experience it. I actually put all my focus on that discomfort. And then I realize, okay, it's not that bad. I can approach her despite the little bit of nervousness or the little bit of the butterfly feeling. It's a way to just accept what's going on inside you. And once you allow yourself to just say, yep, this is how I feel a little bit nervous, it is what it is, you'll be able to take action. You'll be able to make that decision to move forward and approach that beautiful woman. Versus if you're just trying to fight it and trying to overcome the nervousness before you approach her, it's probably not going to work. You're probably not going to be able to consciously overcome the nervousness by talking yourself into it. So instead, just feel your body, feel what's going on, feel your feet on the floor, feel the nervousness, and then take action. The next technique is called scanning the vicinity. Because here's the deal. We typically live in this haze, in this blur, where we're not really conscious of what's going on around us, right? We're texting, we're doing all these different things at the same time, instead of just being aware with what's going on here in the moment. So next time you get in your head and you start overanalyzing, or you start getting nervous when it comes to whatever situation, notice some details. Just notice your environment. Scan the vicinity real quick. Do it with me right now. And just notice some details, some things that you maybe didn't notice before. So I'm going to do it with you. And notice some just imperfections, right? I'm noticing the walls are different colors. It's actually something I didn't notice before. The ceiling and the walls in my room are different colors. So notice something that you didn't notice before, just like a little crack in the wall, things like that, right? And that brings your awareness to what's going on right here, and you'll feel more calm. Now, you can't do this when you're talking to somebody. It would be a little weird if you approach, let's say, a woman, and then you're trying to get present as you're talking to her because you feel the nerves kicking in, and you just start scanning the vicinity. That's going to be a little weird and rude. So instead, maintain that eye contact with her, but notice the details in her eyes. Notice the little red lines, the blood vessels, the contrast of white and whatever color her eyes are. Notice the pigmentations and just the different colors in her eyes. Notice the size of her pupil. Okay, so when you feel that nervousness or you start thinking, what do I say next? What do I say next? Just get present by seeing the details in her eyes. So that works really well when you're talking to somebody. Also, of course, you can take a deep breath and feel your body when you're talking to somebody. But if you're not talking to somebody, maybe you're walking down the street or you're in a board meeting or whatever, you can scan the vicinity real quick. Just takes a few seconds, and you're back in the present moment. And the last technique is called I'm back. And it's that simple. You just say, I'm back. It's a trigger word, okay? So when you start getting in your head, start overanalyzing, you're in the past, you're in the future, and you just say, I'm back, It just like snaps you back into reality, snaps you back into the present moment. So I recommend you start using this all the time to recondition and train your brain to come back to the present moment. Just say, I'm back, and you'll be back. Now, what you can do is you can use any of these 4 techniques on their own. You know, you can pick the ones you like the best. I really like the first one, just taking a deep breath, get centered, get present, boom, action. But if I really need to get centered, if I'm really like struggling with my nerves, then I'll do all 4 at the same time, okay? I'll take a deep breath, feel my body, scan the vicinity, I'm back, right? It took like 5 or 6 seconds. It's so quick, but boom, I'm back in the present moment, just like that. Okay, so experiment with these. Start using them every day. Notice when your mind is wandering. Notice when you're in the past, when you're in the future. Notice the situations that cause nervousness and start using these techniques. Experiment with all 4 of them, because having the ability to get yourself back to the present moment can make you feel almost invincible, like you can handle anything. Anything, you know, even if it's outside your comfort zone or outside your skills. Maybe you take some kind of class and everybody is way more advanced than you. I mean, you're not going to be great at it, whatever it is, but you'll be able to handle it. You'll be able to survive, and you'll be comfortable in those situations. In fact, I just did my first like acting kind of audition. It was just kind of a whim. And I literally walked into a room, I got there really late, and I walked into a room of people just staring at me. I've never been in one of these kind of situations before. Just something I wanted to try, get myself out of my comfort zone. But it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me the least bit that everybody was staring at me as I walked into this audition. And there's literally like, I don't know, maybe 100 people just staring at me, right? Didn't bother me at all because I was able to get present. You know, as soon as I opened those doors and walked in, you know, I took a deep breath, I felt my body, I scanned the vicinity, and I walked through those doors, and it was no big deal. Okay, that's just one example, but you can use this all the time. And in those unwarranted situations that are not life-threatening, you can shut off fear and you can take action. And that's what life is all about. It's all about taking action and going for what you want in life. And you don't want to let fear stop you. Now, these are just a few techniques for getting present. If you really want to achieve ultimate confidence and become practically invincible in any unwanted situation that causes fear, then you have to get Balls of Steel. Balls of Steel is a 10-day crash course to eliminate all fear, anxiety, and nervousness. In just 10 days, you'll turn fear and worry into pure strength and confidence by using some techniques from some of the top achieving athletes and performers in the world. Each day, you'll perform easy exercises that systematically transform you into a rock-solid virtual man of steel. After just 10 days, you will feel like a whole new man. You can use this to become confident and charismatic in any situation. Because here's the deal, most programs and companies out there, they teach you how to get over one specific fear, like approaching beautiful women by just approach a lot of women, you know, start small, work your way up. Yes, that does work, but what about other fears? Plus, that could take a long time, right? Approaching, you know, 100 or 500 women to get over that approach anxiety. So instead, in just 10 days, we're gonna give you techniques and exercises to actually shrink your amygdala, which is the fear center of your brain. Now, don't worry, you're not gonna become so fearless that you're gonna jump off of a building or something like that. But situations that aren't actually dangerous, like public speaking, approaching women, or confronting somebody, will no longer shake you. You will become essentially fearless in those types of situations, or any situation where you know you need to take action, because life is all about taking action, man. So stop letting fear hold you back. Take action right now and just check out the program. Click the link down below. I have a special offer for you for watching this video, and trust me, this offer will not last. So go ahead, check it out right now. I hope you become a confident, fearless man with balls of steel.